by Riverside.
Yes. Welcome to the post-game episode of the U.S.'s game, round of 32, knockout against Bosnia-Herzegovina. As they keep saying, the U.S. played two countries in one match. But what a hell of a game. Will, man, I know you were out and about watching the game elsewhere. I was home on my big TV watching it, biting my nails, down to 10 men. Woo! What a crazy result! What a crazy result for the U.S. I think it wasn't something we didn't expect. It just wasn't the way that we wanted it to be.
Yeah.
But the result in the end is a U.S. win, baby. Go, baby, go, USA. What a hell of a match. A lot of emotions. I can't even tell you the things that came out of my mouth watching that game. I can only imagine what you were going through watching that on your end. But tell me first initial raw reaction to what just happened. How that all went down. The obvious one call of the game that really changed things for the U.S. But how did you feel? How are you feeling, man? That was crazy.
Well, yeah, definitely a lot of mixed emotions. I mean, I went through it all because I actually went to the Point Orlando, where I don't know if you've seen like that they've had this huge screen of TV and everything, and they didn't have the game on. They weren't playing the U.S. game.
What?
Yeah, they were playing it upstairs near the bar area on a smaller screen. So it pissed me off. So I left. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I was like, "This is the United States playing, and you're not gonna play them, but you're gonna play the Scotland versus Haiti game there." Like, you know what I mean? Like it just pissed me off. Not obviously not to knock any of those countries, but it's the home home country, and you're not gonna play it on the big screen downstairs. So it pissed me off. So I left. And then I wound up going to Miller's Ale House. So shout out to them because they had it on every single TV and with the audio on, so it was
I
great.
miss a good old Miller's Ale House, man. That was a
Yeah,
great place to go to back in the day.
so it was good. I got to watch it, sat comfortably, and it was great. It was great. They definitely still came out with the intensity, and it was still nerve wracking because they were missing opportunities, and I was getting nervous because when you miss opportunities, the other team tends to
Oh, I
then
hear you.
capitalize it, and then can be a heartbreak 1-0 loss. So it was nice to see Flo with the beautiful first goal that he was just offside, and
Yeah,
then he was
just
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 like,
a step. He didn't come out in
yeah,
time. Yeah.
but he wasn't gonna let that, he didn't let it get it away from him, so he got another one, and it was beautifully done. I mean, I think they played well, and obviously the unfortunate, which I think is absolute bullshit, given this tournament with the red card, because you can see he wasn't intentionally anywhere close to going for it. Obviously his leg swept out, and he was getting pulled, and yes, a yellow card at most, sure, but a red card, absolutely not. And especially given the missed cards this whole tournament has happened, the Messi's blatant, obvious stud that he went in didn't even get looked at. They wouldn't even revise that replay, so it's disgusting. I think I don't know what the point of VAR is anymore, and not like actual VAR, but more so the people reviewing. Like, what are they just like? Is it are we just not gonna overlook, we're just going to overlook certain plays. We don't want to. It's disgusting and it's terrible and pissing me the hell off.
Yeah, John, my boy Jonathan in the chat said USA, not a red crazy soft call. I mean, that was as Charmin as you get of a call.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
not to say it wasn't a play that wasn't
yeah, it was unfortunate. It
dangerous,
was, yeah.
but like you said, there's been, I believe, eight, if I'm not mistaken, it's been like 6 to 8 of that same play. I've seen that same thing
Well,
happen in other games, and it's not even a yellow people are
it's
getting
just
on this.
it's just as dumb as the red card in the Canada game when what's his face got his leg broken, and
Oh
because
yeah, just because of what the result was at
yes,
the
the
end.
result
Yeah,
was horrific. It was unfortunate, very sad, but not anywhere close to ever being a card. Was it Canada
I
game?
I
I forget
think
what
to
it was,
your
but
point, what pisses me off the most is if you're gonna watch the whole replay, if you're gonna slow it down, you're gonna do all this fucking bullshit that you do to watch it, and it's not in real time. The guy comes from behind, but Balogun's watching the ball, like you said,
yeah,
he's getting
literally,
pulled.
not once
So
looks.
so so much of that play was like what's happening all around the whole moment, and it's like he gets his body in the way, and Ballo has to balance himself out. And unfortunately, because the dude steps through, that's where Balogun's foot lands and it scrapes. Yeah, again, it's, give him a yellow, fine, whatever. I'm okay with that. But you just now impacted this team's ability to have their best player up front for the next round, and now we like Poch has a he has a fucking hell of a job to do next game to try to figure out not just Belgium being an opponent, but just the fact that you're missing your best striker. The chat was going off, and everybody's saying that Pepe doesn't got it, and looking back, he's only scored goals against some pretty crappy teams. The best goal he had against the best team was Mexico. So it really does put like a big like crutch. Well, maybe not crutch, but it really puts the US in a really weird position of like what do they do next? I mean, coaches said next guy up. But is it Pepe? Is it Haji? Haji hasn't even seen a minute of this World Cup and didn't even play the friendlies or barely played friendlies leading up to this. Like, does he change the system? Like, what happens next? Like, that ref in general to me was so ass the whole game.
Yeah,
Like,
the whole
it
game.
was so bad. Like, nothing was going our way. I can't even imagine, man. Like, it's so crazy.
It felt like an away game, well, like when it came to the ref, because it was almost kind of like it just wasn't. It was just terrible refing. There should have been multiple cards given, and not just because
Yeah,
it's the U.S. It's just
several
terrible.
pulls.
Yeah,
Yeah, several short pulls
absolutely. From
that were.
behind,
Yeah,
short pulls. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. The Pulisic, the double hit, pretty much where he got hit, and
Yeah,
first he
and
got.
also wasn't a yellow. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. It just blew my mind. I don't know what they're, especially nowadays, that they call anything. They call you for sneezing too hard, and at this point, it's just like, okay, we're fighting against the refs. But
I mean,
it
I will
was
say that most of this World Cup, there's been a lot of fouls they're letting go, and they're letting them play. That's
which
fine.
is great,
That's
exactly.
fine. But even on a play on, you can still give a yellow card for somebody that's committing a foul that normally is a yellow card. Like, I don't
Hmm.
understand like where that disconnect is from like
Yeah,
what a regular game outside of the World Cup is. Again, you can let them play, but you still, if someone does something that warrants a yellow card, you should still give a yellow card. Doesn't mean
yeah.
you don't have to stop the game. If you want to keep the flow of the game going, that's fine. But damn, that was like that was so bad. Like,
It's frustrating.
and I really haven't like I will say most of this World Cup, I think it's been very far. Like Bartong, that guy from El Salvador, I think is the ref that's been probably the worst. And other than that, I couldn't even think of another one that I'd be like, oh yeah, that was awful. Actually, the one you said, the
Well,
the
The
yeah,
Scotland
Scotland,
Haiti game.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
not the other one. But
absolutely.
even then, like you're talking two out of what 80, 90 games that have passed already, and we
Yeah.
haven't talked about the ref. This was by far the worst ref performance of the World Cup. It's not just the USA thing because that's who we're
No,
cheering
no,
for.
it
Like
was just
this was
it was at least
atrocious.
five calls maybe that should have been worse. 5, 7. It could have been a lot more.
It was
Um,
also, but it was also like calls against the US that should not have been. Like it was like a whole mixed bag of like just bullshit calls the whole game. Dude, I was livid, man. I
yeah.
was
Oh
ready to
yeah.
punch a window. I was, woo boy. Oh, I don't get angry very much, but man, oof, that
It
ref
was
had me
frustrating. Yeah, it was
fuming, man.
definitely frustrating match, but it was good resilience even with the red card. And it seems like they stepped it up even more, and they were playing the counter perfectly. So they were getting attacked, but then they were ready, and they had the 1-2s going, and then they were just going forward. So
There was so much great touches in under pressure, and like just like Freeman, even I know Pepe's, everyone's kind of talking down on Pepe, but he has some touches too where it's just like quick, get the ball out of your feet, like just move it. Like even the play before leading up to that free kick, beautiful free kick by the way from Tillman. Goalie
hell
probably could have done a
yeah.
little better, but
Oh
still
yeah,
a
I
great,
think
great,
he couldn't
great
see it. He saw
call.
it too late. So yeah,
So a lot of the play from the U.S. was it was very different. Uh, Yeah, definitely a lot of the Paraguay game in this game. A little less pressing, but a lot more fluid touches within themselves. Getting out of the back, Tim Ream don't look like he's 38 years old. He
no,
reads the game so well.
that was my
That's why he's
biggest
in there. You know.
one of my biggest kind of concerns, and he's obviously shut my mouth about it because I said, hey, he's got no more legs, especially when it goes against, and and he's been playing phenomenal, but and he shut my mouth so far, but it still begs to differ. If we play a France, how will he fare against guys like that? With the French team like that, but. as of right now, he's playing amazing, and he's stepping up, and they're doing phenomenal. So, especially with a physical team like Bosnia, they were going to come. Very unfortunate for Zeko that had to come out. That he's obviously was pushing and pressing.
I think it was more than his knee. I think it was his muscle. It
No,
looked like he
yeah,
was
yeah,
touching his thigh. Yeah.
yeah. That's what it seemed like. So obviously, you want everybody competing at full. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best at all. Um,
To be fair, I don't think he had much to do in the first half. I like
yes, but it's more or less
I
it's
mean,
more
but
or less
Bosnia
off the
just
ball
wasn't.
and stuff.
It
And
was that one play where he was like in the offside position. I guess they caught the U.S. on a what was it, a goal kick. That was that one moment he had where he
mhm.
had the potential to kind of be a threat.
No,
But
again, it's little
yeah,
quiet plays like that. It's kind of like in the Brazil game, when Casemiro wasn't doing right. He wasn't doing much, and the group chat, we had a couple of guys.
what's
Oh,
up
he's
for the
done, he's washed, and this and that, and then he came out of nowhere, and then boom. So exactly, it's players like that with the experience that, yeah, they had lost their legs because in that goal that Japan scored, Casemiro was at fault on that one, and he lost. He doesn't have the legs that he did before. But guys like that, Reem and everything, they do show their experience. When it's sometimes little plays like that where it's just like, okay, maybe they don't have much to offer, but in those little plays that other players won't see, that they'll know it because of the experience. So I think that's what Dzeko
I think
would have brought to it. But
I think another good thing that happened in this game was the U.S. learned to keep their nerve with a lot of that
yes,
physicality.
absolutely. Yep,
I
that's what I was
think
gonna say.
kudos to Poach or kudos to whoever has tamed those lions because that's what they've
Yeah,
been.
Serginho Dest is a
Yeah,
little crazy. Tim Weah
Adams
didn't. Yeah, yeah.
Adams is
McKinney.
calm. McKenny. I think they were doing a great job of frustrating the other team with some of that time wasting.
I thought
Once
it
they
was
were,
hilarious when
yeah,
the Bosnian coach was holding onto the ball, and then who was it that just like, ball? Can I get the ball?
Tillman. It was Tillman. It was
Yeah, it's
Tillman.
like,
Yeah.
are we gonna get the ball?
Look,
Like,
Tillman. I think huge shout out Tillman.
absolutely,
I
man.
think a lot. I've said this for a long time.
Yeah,
it's
we've talked
we
about
got
it.
receipts. It's been on here. He is a guy that has been a key part. I think of a lot of what Pochettino's trying to do, and I think why the U.S. does well because it's not just the goal. That little heel flick. He had a couple of those. One in the box to Christian, who I feel like should have shot on goal and just see what a rebound did. And I know it was a bad angle, but like even then, like just small plays to unlock. He's back there tracking. Like whenever there's pressure that's in the back, like he's there to receive the ball and kind of like open us up. There's so much that he's doing off the ball, even defending, like just his tackles. Um, but then the goal, obviously, to like golazo, obviously
Well,
to cap
his
off his
skill and vision,
performance.
he's got like his skill and vision. It's like it's not minimum, but it's little things that he does that just opens up to play big time. So yeah, he is absolutely right. He wasn't really much on the radar until the Gold Cup. It's like, all right, yeah, he's been there, he's played, but who knows it? Sure, he'll make the roster, but nowhere will he start. And he had a
Yeah, no
phenomenal
one was
Gold
calling for
Cup.
him in the
No,
first 11. That's
no, and
right.
then he
Yeah.
had a phenomenal Gold Cup, and at that point, after the Gold Cup performance, it's like, okay, is he going to be a starter? Like, after what he's done, like, is he taking somebody's position? And sure enough, I mean, obviously, Poach saw it, and he's without a doubt a starter, and he's without a doubt probably one of our top three players, because even, he doesn't have to score goals or anything. It's a lot of off the ball work and everything that he does that he's just consistently performing. So he is definitely quality player that has definitely deserves to be there and to get all the shout outs because like you said, not just the goals, just everything he's doing um, on and off the ball that's helping the team big time. So I love it. He's definitely a huge part. And like you said, back to the forward. Um, yeah, I'm not going to bash Pepe. He's there. Uh, he doesn't play bad, but he's not playing striker right now. He's kind of almost playing like a false nine, trying to do everything to, I guess, to maybe just involve himself. I don't know if it's in his head where it's like, all right, maybe I haven't done
Yeah,
anything and people are talking
he,
about me.
he has Harry
So
Kane syndrome.
yeah, maybe
Yeah,
it's
he's
just
just
like,
trying to
hey,
drop deep. Yeah.
or not, it's just more so like, let me get myself involved because so people can see that I am working hard, that I do deserve to be here. But he obviously needs to get out of that and play the way he does at PSV.
Yeah,
And
he
when he
needs to
scored all
score
those
goals.
goals, he just needs to be a forward.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we got to go with Haji Wright because Haji Wright, I think at this point, since he doesn't have the play time, he
I
doesn't
think
have that pressure that Pepe does because it's more like Pepe's had more opportunities because he's been on the national team a lot longer. So it's like, okay, what are you going to do for me if you're not doing much for me? Then what, but he is It's just he's not the right things. He can't worry about having to drop back as much. You don't see Flo Balogun every now and then he was dropping back, but not too much. Stay up top,
Yeah,
be
he's
a
trying to
dangerous
push the
presence.
line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And that's what
yeah.
Pepe needs to do. I know they're
Uh,
not the same type of strikers, but
but yeah, I just think it's a different game, right? Because Balogun can hold up play. Pepe tries to hold up play, but
yeah,
you can see him get bodied easily off
yeah,
the ball.
exactly. Which is surprising
He
because he's a lot bigger, I think, than Balogun. So
Yeah, but I think he's just too
not
skinny.
as
Maybe
strong.
needs
Yeah,
to hit the weight
yeah,
room a little bit. But yeah, I mean, he scored goals for PSV, so I think in my mind, I think it's just I'm trying to have confidence in that he's a guy who can hit the back of the net. He's done it for the U.S. again
oh yeah,
against not
yeah,
the greatest
yeah.
teams.
He usually comes off the bench.
Not bench,
He's
yeah.
great, and he gets 20, 30 minutes, and then he actually gets a goal. I don't know if it's because maybe the pressure's on him to start to do something, but obviously at this point, it's you're either starting.
And I think it's unfair to judge him on this game alone because his job to come in was just to disrupt the passing that was happening
Oh
since
yeah, it's
Bosnia
already a
had
red
that extra
card.
man. So
Yeah,
it's almost like bless you. I think it's unfair to judge. If this is what we're gonna judge him on, not the coolest thing to do, but uh, we'll see what
people are gonna
happens.
judge. People are gonna
Yeah,
judge regardless, especially if he doesn't perform. He came on obviously,
he came
and he
on
didn't
and ran
score.
his he came on and ran his ass off and just tried to disrupt the other
Yeah,
team. I think
yeah.
that's the main thing that we needed. Poach needed him to do. And hey, kudos to Poach for not changing the lineup because not the starting, but like he didn't make subs, and he's like this team is going to get us to the end, and he only made
Yeah.
subs late at the end when he knew Christian needed
Some
timeout,
gas, yeah, absolutely.
and
Because
Berhalter could come in and just kind of
Gio
make
that
sure
came in, no?
Berhalter first with
I didn't even see Berhalter come in.
he was just in there to shore up next to Adams. Reina
Okay.
came in at the end to just kind of give I think Pulisic I don't know I know it was him and
Yeah.
Berhalter and someone else came on. I can't even remember at this point, but no, yeah, I mean coach, I think
That
great
was tactically
great.
done exactly. Could have been a dangerous game because Bosnia, we knew we were obviously the favorites, but Bosnia wasn't going to go down. As like Zeko gave the interview, that U.S. knows obviously not to underestimate them, and it's a whole other animal in the knockout stages. So,
Hey, I got a little present here.
yeah,
Hi, baby. This is my little US baby. Anyway, so um, but yeah, no, it's great to see how much this team actually was locked in. Poach has these guys doing what I think. Like I know that we didn't have a clue of what his actual plan was, but I said it from the jump. I didn't think he was showing his cards, and I know I would probably have said it in another episode, but he genuinely I think had a plan. He knew who his guys were. He was just trying to see who else could fit, who could come in and that really have an impact on his team. And I think he's found the right formula. He's these guys are looking good, man. Like
they look
I'm
great.
I'm
Exactly.
not gonna jump to say we're gonna win a World Cup, but we're into the next round. We're into the round of 16.
Hey, if
We have
Zlatan
a
said
tough
it,
opponent.
I'm okay with saying it.
We have a tough opponent, an opponent that beat our ass in 2016. Even though Tim Howard had 18 million saves during that one, and now we see where we're at. Now we truly will get to see back-to-back European opponents in a World Cup in two knockout games. We really are going to get a chance to find out what's to come for this team. Is this team really the team that we thought they could be? I am really curious to see what comes next
Yeah,
for this
yeah,
team. I
exactly.
am
Yeah,
so
I
excited
would
for the
agree.
next round. Ah man, so much, man.
Yeah.
I was like, woo! I can't even tell
Oh
you.
yeah, no, for sure. It was definitely exciting. Like I said, it was great to. It was good. It was a little nervy at first, obviously, because of the missed opportunities. I got a little nervous, but they continued to do what they did best. So
Yeah, and it's so crazy too because um 40 I think I was hoping for an early goal because they've been doing that the first couple games, of course, even against Turkey. But I was actually getting more confident as they got deep into the first half because I was like, Bosnia's not really coming for it, and the U.S. is putting pressure on them. I think the
hmm
goal's going to come, and obviously the offside goal at first, and then Balo, gets that. It was a good opportunity, of course. Weird deflection off a defender, but great vision from Tillman. Tillman put that ball in to find Balo obviously to get that goal again, and he's just being clutch, man, and it's
That was
really gonna
good.
hurt us for next game for
Yeah,
sure.
Pulisic needs to, Pulisic stepped up and he had that goal that was just offsides, unfortunate. But again, hopefully he steps up now and makes creates a couple more dangerous plays. Um, I think hopefully this build up now we're confident and now it's obviously getting into a tougher spots. So with each team getting to the next stage, obviously it's going to just get harder and harder. So at this point, hey, we're just ready for the next one.
Right, and we celebrate this one for a day or two, and then
Hmm.
we start crossing our fingers and our toes,
Yeah.
and hope that the next one is just as good.
Yeah.
We'll move on from talking about the U.S. just to kind of talk a little bit more about the rest of the games because this World
Yeah.
Cup has been fantastic. I am not mad at all at what we've seen so far in this World Cup. We'll talk
Except for
about neighbors to
the
the south that we really don't care for, but obviously
yeah,
they
and
made
it's
they made Ecuador look really bad
and
in their game.
unfortunately, I guess our neighbors to the north was a snooze fest. So obviously, just quickly talking about that one. Canada won, cool, nothing to it, 1-0. I thought they were going to do better. Yeah, is what it is. On to the next. Obviously, Brazil Japan was their first game on the next round, which was exciting, super exciting. Japan, I love Japan, and it was unfortunate that they got a draw against Brazil. Japan just hustles hard and works hard, and they woke Brazil up because Brazil was at that point they weren't looking too dangerous or threatening, and until finally Casemiro does what he does best and shows what he showed in at United, and they kind of just they persevered through everything and they pulled it off. But that was a great match too,
I
definitely
mean,
exciting one.
I think that was a big turnaround game for Brazil because Brazil, as we've said, is not the team that people think they are. They have players, yes, that can do this. They can score late game winners. They can get you some goals, but they're not the team that you like really scares you. I think Zlatan said is like when you look over to that, you used to be scared of that shirt. It's like now you're not. You're just like that they're players that are beatable. And
Mhm.
and kudos to Japan. Hell of a game. Super organized team. I know someone made the joke about man, they're gonna have to start another 100-year project now. Uh,
Yeah.
but I think that was in reference to Blue Lock, if I'm not mistaken. But it's just unfortunate for them because a team that I think could have gave headaches to a lot more teams in the next rounds. But yeah, no, and kudos
No,
to
shout out to
Brazil.
Brazil because
Yeah,
they,
for getting the winner at the end, of course,
oh
and
yeah, it's my other team. So
Vinny stepping up.
Vinny's been phenomenal this whole
Yeah,
tournament. So absolutely, Vinny's been great. Cunha has been good. The United boys have been good. So, um, they're kind of just showing out, which is good. So it was good. That was a good match. And then the next one obviously it was a surprise to everybody. Germany and Paraguay. Shout outs to Paraguay because everybody still talks down, and obviously they were in the United States group and they didn't look great at all. They barely pulled through. Um, but now they knocked out a giant. It doesn't matter if it was in penalties or not. Obviously, they had a lot more um, composure when it came to penalties, and they didn't have the experience. But that was the game wasn't anything too crazy. Germany just couldn't pull it off. Obviously, Germany was the better team, and they couldn't score. The goalkeepers in this tournament, shout out to a ton of the goalkeepers in this tournament because they've been phenomenal. Well, shout out to Paraguay because again, I feel
Vozinha.
like Paraguay is not Brazilian. What are you talking about?
No, I'm just
Oh,
shouting out the
okay.
goalkeepers.
But I feel like CONMEBOL and just the Latin teams always get looked down on by Europeans that that they're superior and everything.
I'm
And
still here. I'm still
okay, I was like, huh?
here.
And then but yeah, they definitely they pulled it off. So shout outs to them. Like I said quickly, I don't know if you have any thoughts on it, but
I mean, I will say the I made a comment on someone. The so Nico Cantor, Andres Cantor's son, who does the
mhm.
CBS Golazo Network. He had a thing that he did where he posted about Kimmich's comment because he Kimmich said the we lost to a team that's not world class. We were poor. I commented on a thing to say, like I'm glad someone kind of made a point to really defend um, Paraguay in a sense because I don't feel like if you lose a game, especially if you're a world class team, that you should be talking. You should be giving a compliment to the team that beat you. It's hard to do to be not a sore loser to say, yeah, we were just bad. They beat us today. Like I think that's the comment that should be
I
made
mean,
as
they
the
could.
captain of that team.
Even if he said we're a world class team and we got beat today, that's fine. But no, I'm saying by a team that's not, pretty much not at our level, because obviously if they're not at your level, then why didn't you beat them? So absolutely. So yeah, I think um,
I
the
just think
lack of
it's
respect.
yeah, it's so unnecessary to keep throwing shade to this side of the world, especially South America. Conmebol, Dad was telling, we were having a
Well,
conversation.
Argentina just won the last World Cup, so as much
Well,
as you want to talk trash,
the
they
thing
won.
too is just like you're talking about a team that beat Argentina and Brazil in World Cup qualifying in South America, which is not easy to do, especially how those games are in those countries. Those fan bases,
Yeah,
they are
absolutely.
insane.
And yeah, don't get me wrong. Paraguay has had a poor World Cup, and they crawled into the knockout stages. But cool,
But,
they're there, and now
but yeah,
they just
yeah.
beat a powerhouse. So Germany obviously wanted to talk, thinking that that I guess they thought they were better than they are, and doesn't matter if it didn't go their way. That's not Paraguay's fault. Paraguay kept in the intensity, they kept up, and they pushed enough to get to a penalty. And if you're world class, then penalty should be a cakewalk for you. Jonathan Tah sending it back to Germany on the PK. So, and the goalkeeper for Paraguay, shout outs because he had a phenomenal, who's had a hell of a life story. I briefly saw something. So for him to get to the place, that he is now, yeah, just shout outs to them.
And I will say, speaking of Jonathan Tah, I know we mentioned that I have my theory that I don't think defenders should ever kick
Hmm.
penalties, but kudos to him for stepping up to do it because apparently no one else in Germany wanted to take it. That video of Kimmich asking Goretzka and I forget who else. But
Insane. Yeah.
so like I said, to make comments that the comments he made completely unnecessary. Like
Classless.
talk shit about
Classless.
your own team who couldn't even
Yeah.
step up to take penalties in a moment that they needed them.
Yeah.
And this guy is now going to live with this for the next however long till the next World Cup. This is probably his last World Cup. I don't think he's playing
Yeah.
another one.
No, I don't think he's making it.
And this is going to be this guy's everlasting memories, stepping up for his country and trying to get you through to the next round. So maybe focus on your team and what they didn't do instead of what the other team did to kick you out of the World Cup. So just that was my lasting thoughts on that. I
Yep.
just thought it was really disrespectful for him to come out that way, and that's fine. It's whatever. But
Yeah. Nothing new.
and yeah, and I will. The next game that I want to speak on is just like France and what we don't have to talk much on it, but man, I don't know that anyone's gonna beat that team, man.
Oh
I
yeah, yeah. Well, I still don't want to cut off. Obviously, Morocco, Netherlands is the next one.
no, we
Quickly
will,
touching
but
on.
yeah, I
Yeah,
just
well, we'll talk to France when we get there because obviously you're way ahead right
my
now.
bad, my bad.
Well, yeah, Morocco, Netherlands, another tight game, another penalty shootout, and once again the Netherlands just doing what Netherlands do best, and unfortunately, which to your captain's thing, Van Dijk, the captain, suppose he's talked a lot and he's supposed to, and he didn't step up to take a penalty, so that speaks level
Supposedly he
on.
wasn't. He's
Yeah, he was
feeling a
something. Yeah, so that
strain.
speaks
Yeah.
that speaks levels about his leadership. And then when they want to compare him to the best center backs ever, that's what pisses me off. And he's very arrogant. I'm not a big fan of him.
I
Um,
mean, Liverpool guy, so yeah,
well,
never
other than that, yeah,
mind.
he's but other than that part, yeah, I'm not a big fan of him. And that definitely
Speaking to that, the Netherlands, by the way, I don't know if you saw, but it came up on my feed today that Justin Kluivert missed the penalty
exactly the way
exactly the
Patrick
way his
Kluivert,
dad
yeah,
did.
same spot and
Oh
everything.
man,
Yeah,
that is so
that is
painful,
just
man.
yeah, that
Like
is
talk
pure.
about history repeating itself, and you couldn't like for your dad just get that one
Yeah.
back. You know what I mean? Like that's a tough one. I don't know how that guy's feeling after that one.
Yeah, but yeah, shout out to Morocco. Morocco again, they kept it through, and they're a tough team, and I mean I picked them to beat Netherlands. So
Yeah.
but again, it's just Netherlands is just they're just always going to be there. They're so far from when they had the powerhouse teams in the '80s, and they just couldn't get through because they just had at that point they just faced tougher opponents. Now they just beat themselves up. So yeah, but shout outs to Morocco for pulling through and winning and staying consistent. So
Yeah, and I tell you what, I know Morocco also kind of had the kind of start that Paraguay had. I would say, like not looking what we thought they were going to be like.
No, not at all.
but they got really strong really quickly. Like their first
No, the
game.
first game against Brazil, they dominated that game. What are you talking about?
Oh
You're
no,
completely off.
no, I'm thinking of a different team then.
Yeah,
No,
because Morocco
I,
completely dominated against Brazil, and
I've watched so many games at this point. I'm kind of
yeah,
getting
no,
them.
no, no.
It's,
Morocco started off strong.
we probably should have talked about this a few episodes ago, just to not be caught up. But yeah, but Morocco. I mean, I had them winning too, so it's not like I thought less of them.
No,
Um,
no, yeah,
but shout
they're a
out.
tough team.
They've all said it on the broadcast, but shout out to all the African teams, the 8 that went through to the knockout rounds. I know Senegal
Hmm.
just went out today, but those teams, Congo looks strong as well. I don't know, I'm jumping ahead, but
No, no,
just shout out because we're talking about Morocco, obviously one of those countries as well, Egypt
yeah,
as
we're
well.
next.
A lot of teams that have really performed solid have had performances that shocked some teams, and I think people hopefully take notice. I think that
Yeah,
some good games we're seeing.
yeah. Moving on to the next African team, Norway versus Ivory Coast, which I'll let you take the reins on it because obviously,
That was just a really good game that I
yeah,
watched. It was a
yeah.
really fantastic game.
Dad got really dad got you hooked dad up with some tickets, so it's just very
Yeah,
special for our dad. It was his first World Cup experience, so it was a
yeah.
surprise.
It's one of
Who's
those. It's one of those things in this life where you don't get a lot of opportunities to do something. And when you get a moment like this is a moment to do that. My dad has never been to. He probably barely goes to games. He's worked so
yeah,
hard his whole life, and we
and he's a
wanted it.
huge football
Yeah,
guy. So
and to give him an opportunity to go to a game and get him a ticket to go see Norway versus
and Dallas and Arlington, yeah,
yeah in
Norway Ivory
Arlington
Coast, yeah,
was insane. Hell of a game that he got to watch. Obviously Holland scores a goal for Norway and is
yeah.
looking like one of the superstars that he's supposed to be for this World Cup. That
What
was a
about
game.
Noosa's goal? What about
Yeah,
Noosa's goal,
yeah.
man?
When I was watching that, I've seen his performances in the first few games, and I thought he was going to have an impact in that game before that game even started. I was like, yeah, I think he's going to score one, and sure as shit, he scored a banger from outside the box,
What
top
bang!
right
I think
corner. So,
all three goals were
well,
exciting.
I
They were
mean,
just
Holland was
well,
he
just exciting because it was a
yeah,
game changer,
yeah.
right?
It was
Obviously,
it was
it
another
was a
last minute goal or
yep,
late game goal.
Holland
So yeah,
Gold. There's a
yeah,
Holland Gold. But
yeah.
Ahmad, shout out to United again. Diallo just, and
You
it
know,
sucks
and
because obviously he's
it,
injured. He's carrying an injury, and he came off the bench
it's
because of
it's
that.
so
But
crazy too because I was like, why isn't he starting? I didn't realize he was injured, and then he
yeah,
comes on. He gets one opportunity and boom.
and
And he
then
had
they have to come.
several other moments too, where
Yeah,
he was doing
he's
his thing.
dangerous.
So
Yeah, it was a great game. Again, shout out to Africa again. Ivory Coast putting in the work and making sure that that Norway earned their victory. It was a great game. Definitely Norway. I'm loving Norway's their vibes and just
Brew,
everything that they it's just cool.
brew.
But then yeah. So we'll see how they do next. And then moving on to what you were talking about earlier, France Sweden. Um, Obviously France just looking like they're like it's just a warm up game to them with everybody that they're playing. So yeah, they're looking beyond dangerous. And if they make it to the final, I don't think there's a single team that has a chance against them,
I saw
unless
I
Infantino steps
saw
in.
I saw a post that talks to like their activity compared to other teams. They're almost like 44 out of 48 in terms of distance covered. So they're not even like having to run like maniacs.
No,
Not
yeah,
only that, you talking about players like Dembele, Doué that have played combined minutes as much as oh hey combined minutes as much as well, like one what was it Declan Rice for England. Like
mm.
it's crazy that's what we're experiencing, that's what we're seeing. uh, and it's a team that just Elise looks fantastic. Like I can't like
Mbappe.
uh,
Everybody
yeah, I mean
with
we all
with this season that Mbappe had at Madrid, and they're saying how he was overrated and how he's terrible, that he's bad and he's not a good striker, and we've seen a lot of bashing on him, but he obviously he's a completely different animal on this France team. Obviously, I think any striker that's decent quality would be a good fit for him, but he is obviously still showing that he is a world class player, whether you like him or not. But for France, he is just he's untouchable.
He's
He's a
just getting it
beast.
done,
He's a
man.
beast. He's getting it done. So whether you like him or not, and whether he has his attitude or not, he's not going to do it in France because obviously Didier Deschamps is not the coach to mess with, and I'm sure Mourinho will kind of wrangle him in at Madrid. So yeah, that whole team,
I think
Dembele, you really can't pick a player. It's like, well, he's not playing too well, but good for France. So
unbelievable, man. Because even like you guys are saying, like the people that come in from the bench, you're just like, damn it, like
yeah, they could be
Shirk,
starters anywhere else, pretty much.
Shirky's getting 5 minutes a game in this team, and
Yeah, yeah.
and even Mateta, who plays for Crystal Palace, who's a goal scorer coming on.
Yeah, there's just
It's like there's so much. I know chemistry is really just kind of like a FIFA 26 thing, video games thing, but there really is like this team has some hella chemistry between
it's
them.
yeah, it's
It's incredible to watch. It's
hmm
just so fluid. The way
yeah.
that they kind of just move around. Elise has that liberty, and Mbappe also has, and all of them. They're just like the hat trick that Dembele had that one game. Like it's just incredible, man.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even think I actually even put them on my bet early on to win the tournament. Right now, I think I only have Portugal
Yeah,
and
my Portugal pick looking real
Portugal. Yeah,
right
Portugal and
now.
Spain are my only two that I have right now to actually win the World Cup. Which actually, speaking of, let me put that I think as a favorite. I mean, I know it's a little late now, but let me see if it lets me see what it gives me as far as a World Cup winner. Let's see what the odds are. France is still at plus 200, so it's nothing too crazy. I mean, which is still good odds.
I
So
put a
I'm gonna
dollar on the
put,
U.S.
hey, I'm gonna
It's
put
gonna give me
25
like
bucks.
31 if I get it right.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Plus
you know,
2,500. Yeah.
it's also like crazy. Like watching even I don't know what game what are we going through the knockout? Is that what we're looking at?
I'm just going through the knockout games just to quickly touch up to catch up. So I don't know if you want to move on to next, or you still had another comment about.
No, I mean this Sweden just they
Yeah,
couldn't
no,
handle
Sweden.
handle.
Yeah, they were playing okay, but unfortunately, yeah. I mean, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't think it really mattered who was going to play France because France is just going to coast through it. But yeah, moving on to the next game, our neighbor South that we obviously are rivals, so we don't like them. But they
There's
dominated. I just think
there's
Ecuador,
so much.
Ecuador, just Ecuador shouldn't have even tried to beat Germany to make it to the next round because they just look terrible. I don't understand how you finish second in CONMEBOL and then you look like you look like a team
Guatemala?
that's ranked. Yeah, exactly. You look like a team that's ranked like 300. Like they didn't have chemistry. They couldn't shoot. They couldn't play. They just couldn't mix. And no, like Mexico,
My feelings
I
on
don't
that
think
whole game
Mexico is as good as they're looking.
as Ecuador
But
made them look, yeah. Yeah.
yes, but hey, you can't knock
Yeah,
Mexico
they still won.
for playing.
They
Yeah,
still won a
and
knockout game, yeah.
they still have not been scored on, which is ridiculous. The fact that like it just seems scripted. That's how
To
crazy it is.
to be fair, Ecuador was not really the team that we expected to score a
Yeah,
lot of goals. So I mean, that
yeah.
was just a good draw for Mexico to
Oh
get a
yeah, it's a
team that
great
really
draw,
wasn't
and
going to challenge
obviously,
them that way.
yeah, exactly. And they're
Yeah, I
continuing
think
the momentum. They're playing as much as obviously they're our rivals, so we'll never like them and we don't want them to win. They're still getting it done. So right now they have a strong possibility to make with this momentum, and they're still playing in Mexico the next round. So it's going to be a strong possibility that they win this next match, and the next match won't be easy for them. This will be the true test for them. They're playing
England is next. Harry
yeah,
Kane.
which England we'll talk about shortly. They didn't have a great game, but they don't go, they won't go away, especially when you have a striker like Harry Kane up top. So Mexico will truly get a test, but I can't even say
I
shout
only,
out to Mexico, but
I only
Mexico
have.
did their,
I'll just a couple thoughts because I really don't want to talk too much about this because I really, mm, um, the Ecuador to me was a team that's an organized, compact defensive team that doesn't let other teams score goals. That's their MO. That's just like
Mhm.
Paraguay. They're very similar, but probably even more blocked in than. And
Yeah,
they just did none of that. Like
no,
they looked
completely
so
different team.
lost.
That's what, yeah,
Like they just were not organized in any way, shape, or form. Like and not to make excuses, but what happened to them the night before, where all fans of Mexico were outside their hotel honking horns and doing all this stuff that doesn't happen in a World Cup, by the way. This is not a World Cup thing. This is a club thing that people are doing to a World Cup team that's in your country as a guest. Like that's not okay. And
No, that's
again,
dumb. It's yeah,
again, I don't want to make an excuse for Ecuador because they played like shit. Ecuador played terrible.
yeah. Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
but
But yeah,
it's just
does that come into play?
it's
Yeah,
unfortunate
maybe,
that
but
that had to be something because they even had some other issues besides that, like with their flight getting delayed and a whole bunch of other stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll move on from that one. I really don't want to because
Yeah.
uh,
As
but
I said, like I said, they, the game, when it came down to the game, Mexico handled their business and they did what they had to.
mhm.
So yeah, moving on. England versus Congo. That was
That
interesting.
was
That was,
well,
clenching the
well.
cheeks because yeah,
I
you
will
know,
say I did at the beginning. I thought I was gonna be a genius because my pick was Congo to win in penalties, and after Congo scored their first goal, I was like, oh, everyone was like, oh, what?
yeah. And it took a
uh,
long time for England to
yeah,
finally score, but again, Harry
I think
motherfucking Kane.
yeah, and let's speak to that goal because I was talking about what he did, and I mentioned earlier in the game in the chat. You remember I was saying that they just couldn't seem to get around the defenders. Like the moment they tried
Hmm.
to take on a defender, they would just knock it out of their feet, or they blocked shots. Like they were just ready for whatever was England was doing. The genius move that he made. I don't know if you caught this, but when that ball comes to him, he pushes it into the space because he saw no one was close enough because he didn't want that to happen to him. He didn't want to have the ball at his feet and then for the defender to be able to poke it out. So he like just tapped it in front of him and then just whips his leg around off balance almost to do what he did. Like all those two little things, just so much class,
Literally one of the
so
last
much
pure strikers left.
insane.
Yeah.
Like there's so much. Like I want everyone. If you guys are not like soccer people, you don't watch football. Like this isn't a sport for you. You're just getting into this for the first time, and you want to understand like what like an actual like amazing talent is. Watch that goal on repeat, every angle you could
Both
watch it
goals.
at. No, both goals, but that one very specifically because the timing that he did it, the way
Yeah.
that he used the defenders to push off, and like I said, find that space, see the space, and just put it in the top corner. Like you're talking about, like he hit it with enough power so it wouldn't go over the bar, and puts it right under where the goalkeeper just can't get to it. Like
Yeah.
just everything about that goal was so beautiful. Like everything about what we love about this game. Like like I in my life will I ever hit a ball like that, and most people will not. And even players that do this for a living every day, like what you said, there's no more pure
Yeah,
strikers
strikers is very
like
few that
Harry
I
Kane.
can't really think of. Yeah, I can't really think off the top of my head right now to be like striker right now. No, that's up and coming or that's in his prime right now. No, obviously, I mean, well, Harry Kane's in his prime, but he's slowly, obviously, he's aging. So unfortunately, that we're not gonna get to see too much of him. Next World Cup, I don't know. But as of right now, it's obviously puts into question: is he the best England striker of all time? Which it's hard to not. And talking about greats, obviously, Teddy Sheringham, obviously, all the way back to Bobby Charlton, um, and then
Wayne
Wayne
Rooney was
Rooney, obviously,
fantastic
of
for
course,
England.
Wayne Rooney
Yeah.
for sure. So
Um.
Wayne Rooney was, pretty much this whole time up until Harry Kane, before all the way to, so, but yeah,
I mean,
just with Kane,
it begs the question. They're the opponent for Mexico next round. A lot of challenges for England ahead because
it's gonna
obviously
be a
they'll have to.
physical.
They're
It's gonna be
obviously
physical.
they're not gonna sleep because they're gonna wake them up like they did with
Yeah,
Ecuador. That's coming. It's
yeah.
gonna be a physical game.
Just buy
It's
those
gonna be
buy the
yeah.
noise canceling headphones.
It's
That
gonna
should be
be
fun.
it's gonna be also a very back and forth game, I believe. And then the altitude. As much as people don't want to
Mm-hmm.
give it,
Mm-hmm.
like it's
Oh yeah.
gonna affect England. England
Oh yeah.
is gonna really have to be mindful of that. And Tuchel's gonna have to make the changes he made in this game. And I think he actually, even though they started slow, I think the way that he approached the game against Congo with Rashford starting instead of Gordon and
I think it's perfect.
um
I think he needs to do the same because obviously Gordon coming off the bench looks like he obviously has more of a
yeah.
spark than him playing the whole 90. So,
And Saka, if he's healthy, he needs to start. Even if he can't give you 90 minutes, start him, not Madueke. Let Madueke
yeah.
come in and be that
and
game-changing
inject.
pace,
Yep,
just like Gordon is
exactly.
on the other
Just
side.
like I forget what game it was that they played where when they put England those subs in, it was like Jesus Christ, it was just an injection of craziness. So
This is a
for
Croatia
sure,
game when they won 4-2.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's
that's
just
what it was. Yeah,
like
yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
it's crazy to me, like we who aren't experts in some of this stuff, we just watch the game and know enough to be like, what is going on? That Tuchel, who's won Champions League, is a guy that knows how to win, makes these very interesting decisions in not playing Morgan Rogers. Obviously we already know the players he hasn't called in, but now you don't have Reece James and you have Jed Spence who's okay that's playing, and you have a guy on the bench in Lewis Hall who should probably really be getting some time on the field. Jordan Henderson coming on for Kobe Minu. Like what? Like what
I
is it
just
with these coaches?
I'm just not a fan of Tuchel. I never liked him. I just feel like I don't know if he has like an issue with players. I feel like he takes it personal with players, and that's why he doesn't play. Like not taking Carson Palmer to the World Cup blew my mind for one. Um, just because, yeah, again,
I mean, a couple of those players, Foden, like just
yeah,
like players
exactly.
that make a
So
difference for you in a game. Like it's
yeah,
just
so I
interesting.
did.
Yeah,
I've never liked Tuchel, but shout out to Congo because Congo definitely put up a match, and it was
I did.
for the end. Again another
It's
African team
not just
that
that
just
match. Every match they
no,
played,
yeah,
they gave
absolutely.
everyone a
And Congo
struggle.
wasn't supposed to
Portugal,
be, yeah,
yeah,
Congo wasn't supposed to be into the next round either because they were one of the teams that all these other countries like
third places. Yeah.
why do we have so many big why do we have such an expanded get these little teams in and look what these little teams are doing. So shout out to Congo, England Junior because I think half those guys are English, um, but yeah, shout out to them. They played great. And then, so on to the next African team, which is very unfortunate. I felt that they deserved the win. Belgium, Senegal. I just feel like
I
Belgium
still
once
can't
again
believe
is.
that result, man.
I
Oh,
just Belgium once again is not
again, I looked like a genius for what 60 minutes with
86
Senegal
because
86.
Lukaku scored in the 86th minute. So that's when the
I,
first goal
I
was scored.
I had Senegal winning 2-1. I just thought Senegal was really strong.
So
Just
that's
seeing them
but
in the warm ups to the World Cup, and then in the games
yeah,
that they had in the
exactly. They
group
just
stages,
don't look good. Just
uh,
another team that
it's just
doesn't feel like
interesting.
they're pulling it out, magic out of their ass because Lukaku in the 86th and then Tillman in the 89th minute. So literally 3 minutes later when the game's about to finish. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to. I didn't really get to watch the full game, but I don't know what happened to Senegal's defending there, to give up two goals in the last 5 minutes of the
You know
game
what's
of regular
crazy
time.
is
But
right before the tying goal, Senegal's on a breakaway, 1-on-1 with the keeper, and could not score. I was just like,
and that would have
oh
put it
my,
away.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would have ended.
And then
Sent Belgium.
125th minute penalty, like that's for them to
I will
for
say it was the
Belgium.
right call.
Yeah, I didn't
It
see
was
it, so I
soft.
don't know.
It was soft, but it was the right
It
call
was the right
because he
call.
does clip him. Like he just like it's one of those that sucks because he called it, or actually he didn't call it, but there was enough where yes, it impedes his ability to get a shot on goal. So I don't think it's the wrong call. Should you make that call in a game like that? Maybe just don't. But look what happened with the U.S. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
these
So,
the VAR
and like I said,
VAR
I mean, as much as
finally
I say,
comes out.
as much as I was saying, Belgium don't deserve it. Obviously, they do because they fought all the way to the end to get
And
all the way through. So,
old man Lukaku getting it done for
and then
Belgium.
Tillman, yeah, Tillman,
And Tillemans, that penalty, oof,
yeah,
unsavable too.
yeah. So yeah, no, like I said,
Step up in a big
as
moment,
you
captain.
know,
I think he's the captain for Belgium,
yeah.
and
So
he put them through the next round.
I don't talk about Belgium to say that they don't, when I say that they don't deserve it, doesn't mean I don't like them. I like Belgium because they've always, but just on paper, they always look great. But then when it comes to the field, they don't
I
perform with
mean,
the
let's
players and
be
names that they
real. Their
have. So,
performances this World Cup have been like
exactly.
terrible.
So, but they're
And
doing enough to make it to the next
yeah,
round.
I
So
mean
that's all that
they get the
matters.
result. Yeah, and no favors from the ref. It was the right call. I think
Yeah.
was it unfair a little bit? Did it suck? Yes, but it's not the wrong call to make. I mean, it's a pen. In
Yeah.
most places they're gonna call it. But yeah,
No, it's
but
good. Yeah.
we
And
have
obviously,
up west next tomorrow. We have the big name Spain playing Austria, Portugal, Croatia. Not really big name
Switzerland,
Switzerland,
Algeria.
Algeria, but that should be. I think
Should be a
that's
good
gonna be
game.
a good
It's
game at the end
more
of the night.
exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
predictions. What do you think? Spain, Austria. What do you got?
I got Spain, I got Portugal, and I got Switzerland. Those are my three winners. So I think
Uh,
it's
I think the Spain game won't be close. I think the Portugal game will be close, but they're my pick to win the World Cup. So I'm going to keep saying that they're going to win against Croatia, an aging Croatia. I think the quality in the midfield will take over there, and then Switzerland. I don't know. I could see Algeria beating Switzerland. To be honest, like I said, Mahrez getting that late goal. that whole was it Algeria? What was the other team they played against where they shouldn't win because it was going to give them a less opportunity to get to the next stage. And the tie caused Iran to miss out on the knockout stages, but should be a good one. I'll give it to Algeria. I think
Yep.
Algeria can beat Switzerland in that one. I don't remember what I have in
Okay.
my picks. Let me see. I'll tell you right now. I have a tie with Algeria winning in pens for that one. I have Portugal winning 2-1 against Croatia. Spain
That's what I
2
got.
0 2-0 on Austria. I just think the games are getting tighter. I think the only team that's going to be whooping anyone's ass is France at this point. And it's just obviously going to get even cagier as we move along. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's amazing World Cup, and I'm seeing so many people put. I've never watched soccer in my life, and this World Cup, I can't stop watching every single game on TV. So,
It's tough. 'Cause I can't even call it an amazing World Cup because I feel like the referees have ruined a lot of the group stage games. Um,
but there's been
but
so
it has
many
been
late
exciting.
game,
Yes,
so many
it's
late game
yeah.
winners, and
It has
yeah,
it. Yeah, the knockout
small,
rounds right now
small,
are
small
yeah,
teams surprising people. I think there's a lot of different things that are happening with
yeah.
all the games that
There's
have
a
made
lot
it a
going
really good World
on.
Cup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot going on. I just feel like yeah, the referees definitely have been ruining it, like today's game. Because had the U.S. could have changed it. And again, that red card was just a terrible call. So it's going to be a big game changer. But that's what I said. Just the referees just they haven't. There's been in the group stages a decent amount of games, and again, Argentina doesn't look that great without Messi because when Messi didn't play against Jordan, look how they did, and then he came on the field and then they pushed it to score. So, had Messi gotten the red card, he would have been out 2 games. So would that have changed them? Would they have gotten second place and then see who they would have played? So, so I can't call it great, but it has been very exciting. And
And then I'm
hopefully,
also
just if the refs can consistently be finally, not be assholes and actually, do be actual refs, um, then if we can't let the refs dictate the game at this stage of this level of the World Cup because you're supposed to be the best of the best. Um, so hopefully that gets fixed up. But yeah, the games are exciting. The games are definitely exciting, and the players, everybody, and the fans have been phenomenal from pretty much every country. It's been beautiful to see the harmony, and especially in a place that in a country that's been
just
so
the
controversial
just
with
the
everything.
unity between the people has
Yeah.
been a
So
great. It's been a
exactly. So
breath of fresh air.
yeah, with the controversy obviously going on here, it's good to see that obviously that us as people, it's not us as people. So it's beautiful.
And we can enjoy it together
Yeah, everybody,
for the
whether
most part.
exactly whether you're going against other people other than the knockout that the Ecuadorian fan. I don't know if you saw that he knocked that Mexican fan out. So
No,
at least they
I
got
think I
they
think
got
that
to
was
win.
I think that was an old video, but
Oh,
there
was it?
was there
Well,
was a there was a bad scene of a Ecuadorian fan leaving the Mexico game, and some girl comes up behind him and throws a drink on him after they've
yeah,
won.
that's
Like
yeah.
it's
Again,
just
that's
terrible.
it's just dumb because again, obviously, it's a game and we're enjoying it. And obviously, if your team loses, cool, man. It's a World Cup. Enjoy it, and especially if you're visiting from other countries and your new places. Even if like again, if you're Mexico and you're going to visit Monterrey and you're from DF or something like that,
Dude, the
So
scenes of that stadium are
oh,
so amazing.
oh,
Holy
absolutely. The
crap,
most
dude.
beautiful stadium right now
That
in,
is
in the World
crazy,
Cup.
dude.
Monterrey Stadium is second to none. It's absolutely, to me, the most beautiful stadium.
Let
I couldn't
me
think of another
let
one.
me touch on this real quick because I don't want to forget. Australia Egypt is Friday. Argentina Cape Verde. So we'll see what happens there.
Let's go, Cape
And
Verde.
then Colombia Ghana should also be a really good game.
Yeah,
And then I'll just
Columbus
really
first
quick
test.
um, because we're U.S. people, we live in the U.S. We're obviously fans of our national team. I got to talk to what CONCACAF is going to face in the next round. So real quick, Canada's playing Morocco, amazing test.
I
Mexico playing
Canada.
England, amazing test.
I
U.S.
don't know.
playing Belgium, a rematch of 2016. I think this is a really big moment for us as people that live in this region, CONCACAF, to really hopefully get some respect across the pond, because we all know how much people talk down on the football on this side of the world. And yeah, we're 100 years behind. It's gonna be that way. But at the same time, I hope everyone can give us our props and our kudos and respects if these games wind up going in our favor and not in the favor of Morocco, who's a strong team, England, who's a favorite to win the World Cup, and Belgium, again, who's a European team
And
who's
who
had
gives the U.S.
several
who's giving the
golden
U.S. troubles? Yeah.
generations. So just, we'll see
Yeah.
where we come out on the other side once it's all said and done. But we will talk to that once this next episode airs, and we can kind of have a reaction to that. But just be on the lookout for the growing game in this country. It's not small as you think. Please stop thinking that I believe we will win China is the only thing that exists in this side of the world.
Yeah, which is
There's some
absolutely
of
terrible. We
there's
need
some
to.
of us.
The fact that we have Hollywood and we can't come up with good chants. Like we have music,
It's because
obviously
Hollywood's not involved unless they're wanting some cam time at the game.
I
So.
guess, but geez, yeah. But
But
yeah.
anyway, all that to say is we got some amazing games coming up for us as people from this side of the world against teams that are favored to go far in this tournament. Um, Hopefully, Cape Verde can give Argentina a game. Vozinha, I hope you
Hell
can
yeah, Vozinha,
play your heads.
Hey, push
do
them to
everything you
penalties
can.
and then stop the penalties and then give it the upset of the tournament. That'll be the most beautiful thing in the world.
And then, we have a lot of Colombian friends, so maybe Colombia gets through and gets around Ghana. This should be, I think, it should be
We'll
a
see if
tough
if
battle,
Commonwealth, Brazil. Brazil's also got a tough match with Norway, so we'll see. We'll see if this side of the world competes against the other side of the world. But as long as it's exciting, as long as it's good games, may the best team win, and everybody's gonna lose to France anyway. So.
And yeah, on that note, I think we could end it. And fucking let's go USA, baby. We're gonna keep riding this wave.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna do some. What is it? Why can't I think of his name from United? Oh my God, Brazil. Cunha
Mateus
celebration.
Cunha. The surf. Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
We're going surf all the way to the finals.
And then for anyone that keep watching the World Cup. Please subscribe, like, repost, share, tell a friend. If you want to learn more, just want to be a part of a good conversation when it comes to football, we're here for you. And that's it. That's a wrap. Let's go USA, baby.
See you.
Powered by Riverside.
Country road.
I would have preferred the Eye of the Tiger, but